Hi guys, and welcome back to some Cinders. We are about to make our grand entrance. Yee! Let's have a look. I think I go to the forest and just flaunt my new dress in front of the fairies. Let's go to the palace. A complete and utter disaster. You have no idea how much this will cost our family. You had a chance to secure the future for yourselves. I like this cut here, I didn't see that before. And for your children and their children. You'll be lucky to find a single man in the kingdom willing to call you out on the display you gave tonight. And good riddance. What did you say? Mother, look, there's some commotion in the ballroom. I think someone important has arrived. Indeed. Whoever that is, they can afford to be late, so I'm guessing it really has to be someone important. That's us! Ah. Come on, be us quicker. Everyone has gone silent. What's going on? Oh my god! Oh my god, I love that dress. I love that dress. And look at that hair, I love that hair. And look at the cut, and look at the necklace, and the mask, and I love it. Looks like we have a latecomer. And an interesting one at that. That is a mighty fine dress with cleavage and arms, shouldery things. Ooh, yeah. Wait, is that? I think I know her. I don't applaud her lack of punctuality, but she certainly knows how to make an entrance. I wonder who she might be. I don't think punctuality is among the top qualities expected from a future queen. What about stunning looks? Not a prerequisite, but then again, neither is courage, and this one clearly has plenty of both. Watch out, my prince. She is coming. Good evening, your highness. And to you too, captain. Good evening, my lady. Now, if you please excuse me, my prince. Good evening, my lady. I have noticed you have only just arrived. Even those who care little for appearances must accept the fact that people still judge others by their looks. That's why proper preparations have to take time. And if I may judge, the outcome is positively stunning. This is my flirt voice, apparently. Flattery is a very pleasant way of showing others we want something from them. So what is it you want in this situation, my prince? Is it an obedient wife, a wise consort, or just someone to keep you warm at night? Don't get me wrong, your highness. I do empathise with your complicated situation and understand you must have a wife to be crowned. I see you don't hold social conventions in high regard. That is quite an accurate description of my predicament. Oh, he was half parole there, I'm sorry. And yet, understanding this, you are here. Don't tell me it is to taste wine from the royal cellars. Frankly, there's more than one reason. The wine, the food, not to mention the company. I won't deny I find power interesting, especially after hearing all the rumours. Oh, so there's a spark of curiosity behind that cold, inquisitive look. There is nothing more natural than being attracted to power, my lady. I didn't say I was attracted to it. I merely stated that I find it, and those who wield it, intriguing. For example, what kind of person does one have to be a good ruler? A sound philosophical question, worthy of the author of The Duke. What are your views on the matter? Although her approach may at times be cynical or overly instrumental, I believe that Levia Malik managed to describe power in its actual rather than ideal form. An independent judgment from a well-read lady. How very refreshing. I've always regretted the fact that such a fine scholar as Lady Malik does not hail from our kingdom. Perhaps I was simply blind to the treasures of our realm. The fact that some women do in fact receive education, even in this backwater land. You speak harshly about your own kingdom, my prince. Criticism may be the only weapon of the powerless, but you are hardly without power, are you not? To be honest, I am pretty powerless. Being a prince mostly entitles me to living in more comfortable quarters than, say, the town's innkeeper. But I don't even get a fraction of his power. But assuming we were a king already, what would you have me do, my lady? What changes would satisfy subtle tastes of a learned, modern woman such as you? I may have read a few books, but I am not a politician. I can speak generally of injustices that require mending, or errors which need to be corrected. I believe the kingdom would benefit from reforms and a more modern style of government. Isn't that a polite way of saying the monarchy is obsolete? Not necessarily. An enlightened ruler may balance novelty and freedom with stability and tradition. As long as he keeps those who could threaten him either too satisfied or too afraid to rise up against him. Against him or her, I would add. Yes, gender plays no role in such matters. At least here we have some equity. Smile! I must admit you are an intriguing woman, my lady. Very different from the rest of the people who came here today. They don't seem to be even slightly bothered by the masks they have to wear. I wonder if it's so because they wear them every single day as well. You are different. You may be wearing a mask, but you speak to me plainly and honestly, risking being misunderstood or simply rejected. I can appreciate that, even if you did leave me a bit flabbergasted. I know exactly what you mean, Your Highness. Being raised in a place filled with deceit and spite, I learned very well the value of masks. When threatened, people will rather forget who they are rather than risk being hurt, and if their surroundings require it, they will lose themselves forever only to survive. We are all slaves to convention, from servant to a lord. I must admit, I find the dictum terrifying. Or that all of us who are merely actors on some stage set out for us, be it others or fate, being determined by things we can't control is frightening. I know it all too well. You speak of your family? I don't know why I just randomly skipped the word you. I am. It isn't a light story, Your Highness. Definitely not a topic for a polite and charming conversation to make the time pass more pleasantly. I would like to hear about it nevertheless. If I am not asking for too much, please tell me about your family, my lady. How could I refuse you, my prince? Well, my mother died in labour, bringing me into this world. My father eventually remarried a woman who has already had 2 daughters. He died soon after that, so now I live with the stepmother and her 2 daughters. That is strange. I have never heard of a noble house with 3 daughters and no father. I recall one family of a widow with 2 daughters, though. How is it possible, my lady? Stepmother doesn't see me as one of her daughters. She allows me to stay in the house under one condition. I work as a servant for bed and board. Those who are familiar with the family know of my existence. As for others, I wouldn't be surprised if she told everyone she has 2 daughters, and that is that. That is unbelievable! I did warn you about this topic. It isn't very entertaining. No, I'm glad you have told me about it. It showed me how ignorant I still am, and how little I know of my own realm. Well, in that case, I'm glad you asked me about my life. Look at me, babbling like a lunatic. You've barely spoken. You must be wondering whatever happened to my royal manners. I forced you to speak about things which you might find painful during a ball. When we are supposed to be taking our minds off on pleasant things, please allow me to make amends. Would you do me the honour? Oh, you get to dance! Can I see you dance? Oh, I'm not really a dancer. Don't worry, my lady. I will show you. Oh, alright. He's wearing guy liner. Then he's just looking like they're about to kiss. And it made me laugh. I really love her dress, and I love that kind of style of sleeve, and Alright, maybe I can learn something from you as well, my prince. Is this alright? You're doing fine, my lady. This isn't as difficult as I expected. Not that I had expected to be dancing with you, my prince. And yet here we are. It feels very natural too. Who knows? Maybe it was fate that brought the 2 of us together. See, I knew it. I knew if I wasn't trying to get him and be like overly flattering, then he would like me more. Fate? And what is it that really brought me here tonight? Do you truly believe that it was some mystical force? I am imagining getting here must have been difficult for you, considering your situation. To put it mildly, yes, but I wouldn't call it fate, my prince. To the contrary, if it was up to fate, I'd be cleaning the dishes this very moment. No, your highness, the only reason I'm here is because I do not believe in any force other than my own ability to influence the world around me. To choose to shape my life in any way I can, and take responsibility for the consequences of my actions. Having it any other way is cowardice. I think it's a bit harsh. A commendable attitude, my lady. This may not be the wisest thing to say at the moment, but I'll say it anyway. I consider myself very lucky to have met you tonight, my lady. Luck or not, I am glad as well. Very glad to be here with you, my prince. Have I complimented your eyes already? Strange, I can't seem to remember. Neither can I. Let's assume you haven't. I can't get enough of looking into it. This sounds like pre-bed talk. It's definitely flirting. They have these amazing dancing sparks inside them. They suit you more than well. They speak of wit and intelligence. No, I'm sure you haven't complimented my eyes. Please do continue. What else do you find attractive? I will then. I adore watching your lips as well. They move so gracefully when you speak, as if conveying a promise. And what promise have you read from them? I dare not say it. Let's move on. You're like, okay, you can stop there. Oh! Oh, skip the neck, Prince. What about my chest? Chest is not the word I'd use. Bit of heavy breathing going on. And what word would you prefer? I think we should get to know each other a bit better before we switch to a more colloquial vernacular. I'd love to get to know you better, my lady. You will have your chance, my prince, if you are persistent enough and constant in your ambition. But we tend to undervalue things we achieved effortlessly. Let me give you an obstacle, my prince. You may thank me later. You really are incredible, my lady. And you wouldn't have it any other way, my lord. Good night, and thank you for this unforgettable evening. And now I'm guessing I'm socializing with other people. Mother? Wait, what? I think it was meant to say Gloria. I think that they've gotten confused here. Unless she means, like, mother above. I don't know. Well, I'll be... Cinders! Come, Osa. Girls, are you enjoying the ball? I certainly am, with my amazing dress. Brazen little brat, how dare you come here, shout in front of the prince like some harlot and steal attention away from my daughters. Oh really? Because the girls are doing so well on their own. You know, I think it's always easier to be charming and make a good impression on people when you're relaxed and confident about what you're doing. I came here at my own will, Camosa, while your poor daughters only came because they either fear or don't want to disappoint you. They came because they knew it's important. They came because you put the weight of your sick ambition on their shoulders and whipped them to make them go faster. The fact that you can't see your mistakes makes your failure all the more tragic. Perhaps I was mistaken. Cinders, you were really amazing. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Thanks. That laugh was me. So what are you doing now? Wanted to know. Got any more surprises for the evening? If you do, then please warn us in advance, or someone may have a heart attack. Surprises? What do you expect me to do? I'll just head back home. I got what I wanted, right? Besides, these shoes are killing me. I thought you needed to socialise a bit more, invite people around. What are they even made of, blasted thing? It's the left one that almost cut my skin. Let's see. If I can send you flying over the wall, shall we? Then stay there. Oh, don't throw your shoe. They're not your shoes! They're not your shoes! I'll be going now. Take care, ladies. And there she went. Well, I'd say this has been an entertaining and very educational experience. What do you think, Gloria? Yes, I think I did learn something about myself. All of us, actually. Would you agree, Mother? A mistake. Looks like someone's just been hit with a revelation. Too bad it wasn't sooner. Good evening, Lady Carmosa. Ladies. I'm looking for Cinders. Do you know where I could find her? My lady? Cinders is not here, Captain. Could you please tell us why you are looking for her? Royal orders. The Prince would like to have a word with her. Cinders has just left, Captain. She seemed to be in a hurry too, as if trying to get home before midnight. Funny, since Mother's here and she wasn't supposed to be here at all. It isn't like she needs to make it before curfew or anything. If that lovely dress was as terrible as the shoes, maybe she just wanted to get out back home and take it off as soon as possible. Don't say such things in front of Perrault! He'll get flustered. Wait, ooh, I went back in time. I didn't know I could do that. Her shoes? Yes, slippers. Very original design too. She said they were awfully uncomfortable and threw one over the wall. The other one is still here on the ground. Slippers. Why did he say slippers? I still can't believe she did it. I would never expect. Of course, because everyone's as dim-witted as you are and never does anything out of the ordinary or unexpected. Please be nice to each other. Why would you get home after the ball and then put your clothes back on? Like, when I get home from a party, I'm like, pyjamas. Pyjamas, biatch. Oh yes, I'm sure that you were able to foresee this precisely as it happened. Did you see it in tea leaves or read it in a children's book one afternoon while avoiding work and being as useless as usual? I did entertain the thought she might do something like this, if you must know, but believe what you want, I don't care. I too suspected she might try and do something unthinkable. She was so secretive and compliant at times. I suppose it could point to an inevitable explosion. I didn't expect she had it in her. Gloria, please. Sometimes you sound a cliché villain from a bad romance novel. This isn't the first time you've said that. Of course, if something's not twisted, weird, or shocking, you wouldn't consider it honest. Not everyone is like you, Sophia. I know not everyone is. You're not, though you try hard to be like Mother, enacting the same role no matter the situation. Predictable, boring, stupid. Stop arguing. But you are not Carmosa, remember? You do not lead, you mindlessly follow, and it shows. Shut up, you. Open up! Open up in the name of the prince! It's him! Why did he have to come? And in the middle of the night? You just happen to be dressed. Will the wonders never cease? I guess this night of change is not over yet, just as your ridiculous cliché impersonations. There's no time for this now, though I'm sure Mother will deal with you later. I'll go summon her. You do that. Open up! I won't repeat myself. Mother! Sophia, don't stand like that. Open the door, let this noisy man in. Yes, Mother. Ah, Captain, what brings you here at this time of night? I love her dress. I love all their dresses. I love his outfit. Hey, look at that. He just needs like a little bag there. Yeah. Spare me the false pleasantries. You know why I'm here. Where is she? Very well, Sophia. Get Cinders here right away. Yes, Mother. Be quick about it, child. Captain, would you fancy some wine while we wait for my lazy stepdaughter? Don't push it. You know this is not a courtesy visit. I'm afraid a lot is going to change here tonight. I brought Cinders. Oh, Captain, good evening. What brings you to our humble house in the middle of the night? Miss Cinders, did you attend the grand ball tonight? I did. Why do you ask? Shouldn't you check out how she got there? Surely an almost servant like her. Okay. Had no proper claim to this fancy event. Ladies, please allow me to do my job. Did you dance with the prince tonight? I did. And did you wear a mask with a feather and slippers made of leather and glass? Yes. What is it about it? Show him the slippers to prove you're the one. That won't be necessary, Miss Cinders. I was sent to find you by the prince. His Highness has found you the most interesting woman in his land's nobility. In the wake of tradition of the grand ball, he would like to discuss the possibility of marriage. If you consent to these proceedings, of course. Marriage? I mean, you do very well, Cinders, but is this appropriate? Oh, who cares about what's appropriate and what's not? If the prince decides coughing into someone else's soup was fine, we'd all do it. But that you impressed the prince so much? Even I didn't know you cared about such things, Cinders. This must be some sort of mistake. This girl's been sleeping in a dirty old kitchen for the last couple of years. The prince can't be interested in such a person. Surely you were thinking of one of my daughters. Oh, I assure you, there can be no mistake. Miss Cinders? You smile. I'm genuinely surprised and flattered, but you cannot expect me to just get up and leave my family. It may not show at first glance, or when you listen to our everyday banter, but this place and people are too important for me to just leave like that. It's not often I have to deliver such disappointing... it's not often I have to deliver such disappointing news to the prince. His endeavours were to find a good wife and proper queen. What should I tell him? I'm interested, don't get me wrong. Please, do not misunderstand me. I have found the prince to be charming and intriguing. I am not dismissing any possibility. But how am I supposed to speak of commitments without knowing his highness better? The prince was hoping to find a wife on the ball and get crowned to be true king and ruler soon. I'm aware of that. Yet, apart from being a ruler, his highness is also a man, and he needs to show me he cares about me and my family's well-being. I need to get to know him. If he needs to prove his intentions towards me and my closest, until then I will be overjoyed to welcome him in this house. We must all concur. The prince is welcome to visit as often as he likes. The house isn't in its former glory, but we're sure the prince's presence will help with that. Sophia, stop immediately with this nonsense. This is not the time for your friendly banter. Please, send the prince my best wishes, and an invitation both to this house and its inhabitants' hearts. And please remember, you are always a welcome guest here too. I do hope that you will manage to pay us a visit, should the prince be held by important matters of the kingdom. I will deliver this message to the prince immediately. He will not be overjoyed, though. What can you do? What can you do? You have the right to refuse. From what I have gathered, you may expect to be honoured with this visit soon. You've made quite an impression on him. Have a good night, ladies. Thank you, Captain. Good night. Are you insane? To refuse the prince? I agree. She chose you a life of comfort in the palace. You over. Yeah. She must have lost her marbles. Why? Why did you pass such a chance? Reviving this household can't mean that much to you. Wouldn't you do the same? I have heard of your choices in the past, and you love us so much that you just had to include us in your plans. Believe it or not, you are the only family I have left. Not a perfect one, that's for sure, but I understand sacrificing tough choices for those closest to me, even if they don't. I'm sorry I have underestimated you. I think I've gotten so used to fighting this war alone. Oh, that's so sad. But today you've proven not only to be resourceful and cunning, but you also understand what this game called life is about. Let me surprise you even more then. Do you remember I talked this morning about this house's money problems? Yes, I do. I think I solved them. Tobias the merchant offers to lend us a significant amount of money, which we are surely going to need if we are to take royal guests. His conditions? Nothing can ever come for free. Of course, he wants interest if we manage to gain the honours and wealth through it. He wants to see me the lady of this house. Reasonable and clever going on your side, but not so fast, my dear. You still have a lot to learn. Take a close look, Gloria. Your spot of the favourite daughter has just become occupied. Shut it. Can we just be a family? Oh, no, stop it! Stop it! I do hope this will open a new chapter in this household's life. It sure looks like you get your wish. Would you mind helping me with tomorrow's planning? More than glad to. See? And I better become queen also. A few hours earlier. It's you. What do you want? Sharon as usual, love. Never big on the social niceties, I guess. I can't blame. What do you want? Me? Oh, you know me. I want nothing. I have everything I need. Except some information about that pet project of yours, maybe. I don't know what the voice is. Listen to me, old man. I have no time to play your games. Ask me and be gone. The girl, love. The little bird who wanted to fly free from her cage? Her. She's none of your business. I'd advise you to stay away from her. None of my business? Even after the small, if not crucial part I played in her personal drama? Even you must admit that I was bloody good supportive actor, eh? That's supporting, and yes, you had your part in all this. Alright, it doesn't really matter how anyway. If you must know, all is going well. I'll keep the word I gave to Cinders' mother and help her achieve the goal she chose for herself. Will you, love? That's a tad unlike the Guide I remember, bending this girl's path according to your own whim, playing her like she was your doll. Weren't you always the one with a mouthful of nice words, like independence, not so big on practicing what you preach, though? Oh well, methinks it must be difficult to let people make up their own minds when there's so little time and you were in a hurry to run as usual, Keed? I can see what you're trying to do here, and it isn't working. I helped the girl with making her own decision. It is hers, as will be the consequences. What consequences? Ha! Some achievement that is. The poor girl's pretty as a picture, smart as a demon, and protected by friends of her mother made and bound by a dying wish. Are you saying that I'm also... you use black magic? I hope I didn't just trade fairies for, like, an evil thing. I just thought she was going to be giving nice advice. That's a mighty fine start for being independent and making one's own decisions. Business makes the better of you, old man. So it does, madame. That it does. Guess freedom ain't what it used to be, eh, love? Cinders broke from her stepmother's clutches and paved a new path for herself. She is truly free to do whatever she wishes for the rest of her life. In my book, that's a success, love. Nah, you shouldn't really believe that she can keep up that stout powers for long now, do you, love? We both know what will happen when her crutches leave her. No commerce to explain, no mysterious friends to look up to. The bird will get swept by in the wind. Sorry, I'm laughing at what's happening with my accent with him. But you fulfill the promise given to her mother, so your conscience is free. Begone, Snake, I've had enough of your chatter. Oh, careful now, love. You don't make the same impression when your voice is all shaky. I must have hit a soft spot under this pretty armour, eh? I need to pack. I'll be leaving soon. Now let me be. She looks so sad. Yes, run. Show us the strong, independent spirit you really are. You'll run out of cities one day. Well, she just needs to stay with me and live in my palace and live in my house. So yeah, ending. Cinders finally manages to drastically change her life and retakes her residence from Lady Carmosa. She starts a new era for herself and her family. After the events of the Grand Ball, Carmosa recognises Cinders as her best successor and steps down from being head of the family. For years, Cinders can count on the support of her and her advice. Lady Carmosa dies, and happy to see her family function. I'm glad she was happy. Using fame she gained in the Grand Ball, Cinders turns her noble house into a meeting place for idle scholars and an important spot in the cultural map of the kingdom. She uses her wealth and knowledge to support art and inventions, and will always be remembered as a great patron of cultural progress. Cinders built a mutual understanding and friendship with Sophia, and they run the house together, thwarting any intrigue attempts by Gloria. Eventually, Gloria marries a rich merchant family, and free of Combo's influence, becomes a respectable host of her own house. The princess is a frequent visitor, and everyone knows they are lovers. Why does she refuse to become queen? Eventually, the princess is forced to marry a noble girl to secure a succession in his relationship with Cinders. She's heartbroken and lives the rest of her life alone. That's the price I have to pay. Well, that is what happened. I was really hoping that I could get all the Bonnie marbles, as Matthew says, and be queen and take possession of my own household. So I guess I'm going to have to play through it again and become queen. So I'll see you later. Bye bye.